there should be a little bit more, a structure how you work with startups as a municipality. There should be a strategy, a vision. Do we want to work with startups? Do we want to work with companies? And how do we do it in order to solve problems, challenges, etc.? So more structure and more a strategy about it.
Welcome to Smart in the City, the Babel podcast. I am your host, Tamlin Shimizu, and really at Babel, we aim to connect the players in the smart city industry with high quality information and ideas through our platform and services. This podcast is really an extension of this goal and mission to drive the change for a better urban life. So, what better place to start than in Copenhagen? While there are many cities progressing quickly in this area, I think we can agree that Copenhagen has a very unique ecosystem, and they're really pioneers in many areas, introducing technology and innovation into the fabric of urban life. This month, we are diving into success stories from Denmark and featuring different projects in collaboration with Copenhagen Capacity. So make sure to follow us on LinkedIn to have a look at these interesting use cases from the region. In the last months, I've been traveling to many cities, and I have personally met with our 3 guests of today who are important players in the Copenhagen ecosystem. Rikke Petersen, who is the head of Green Transition Team at Copenhagen Capacity. Anders Sloth Nielsen, who is the Senior Investment Manager and Head of Smart City at Copenhagen Capacity, and Martine Reinhold Kildeby, who is the Head of Strategic Partnerships at BlocksHub. Hi, how are you doing today?
Hi, Tamlin. Doing fine. How are you?
Yeah, doing quite well. Thanks for joining us, Rikke. And Anders, how are you doing today?
Good, very well. And thanks so much for having us. We've been looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. Hi, Martine. Welcome
Hello.
To the show.
Hello, Tamlin. Thank you very much.
So let's start with a question for the 3 of you. I'm going to start with you, Martine. If BlocksHub were an animal, which animal would it be?
I think BlocksHub would definitely be like a 12-legged octopus or something like that, reaching out to every corner of the world, all being centered in some big brain and body.
Ah, that's a really nice answer. I'm not sure if 12-legged octopi exist.
Me neither.
But they're really intelligent animals too. So good choice. Yeah, perfect. Now I'm going to ask Anders, if Copenhagen Capacity were an animal, which animal would it be?
I don't know. I'll say a lion. If it also comes down to Copenhagen Capacity, we're a very proactive organization, and we help foreign companies come here and establish themselves and attract foreign investments, and that really takes a certain amount of proactivity in your daily work. So. And I think Copenhagen as a city is also very proactive, and I think a lion has to be that in order to feed the family or whatever they call it down.
Yeah, king of the jungle, or safari or something. Yeah. Do you agree, Rikke, or do you have a different animal in mind?
I do actually, and we actually did kind of the same exercise a couple of years ago at CopCap, and we ended up, and I totally still find this animal appropriate for the city and for Copenhagen Capacity still, and that was a dolphin. We smart, we fast, we have fun, we like to be in the water, close to the water. We like to work in teams and to be around others, and so that was the animal we went for that time, and I still think it is appropriate.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks so much for playing along. Now let's dig in a bit deeper. So why don't you tell me a little bit more about Copenhagen Capacity and BlocksHub?
Yes, I'll be pleased to. My name is Rikke Petersen. I am the team leader of the Green Transition Team at Copenhagen Capacity. We are an investment promotion agency working to promote Greater Copenhagen, mainly the capital, but also other regions around Copenhagen. My aim is to attract businesses, or the focus I have is on the built environment. So I would love to see a lot of solutions and technologies and companies that are enhancing the green transition within the built environments. That could be everything from technology companies to engineers, architects. So that is what I'm basically aiming for in my current position.
Lovely. Thank you so much. Anders?
Yes, and I'm part of the team here at Copenhagen Capacity, and sit in the same team as Rikke, our green transition team. I sit as head of smart city technologies and solutions. So my focus is very much focusing on companies who have a smart city technology that is relevant for Greater Copenhagen and supporting the overall green transition and urban developments through deploying that technology, but really about attracting foreign companies and foreign investors into the ecosystem here.
Yeah, wonderful. Thanks for the introduction. Martina, can you just sum up a bit? What do you do here at Blocks Hub, and what is your main goal?
Yeah, well, Blocks Hub is, as I said, it's both like a physical place. You would maybe look at it and think it's a co-working place. And it is. We have residents sitting here working every day. We have around 1,000 people coming in and out every day, all working within the urban development somehow. But it's much more than that. It's actually a platform, an organization that are linking people, getting people to share innovation and ideas. And the whole idea, the aim and purpose of Blocks Hub is to scale these solutions, creating better cities worldwide. So that is really like the whole idea of the organizations.
Yeah, wonderful. Collaborating together, even in the physical setting, can bring people so much closer and really get people talking and working towards these solutions together. So, and can you tell us a bit about the most important aspects of the Copenhagen ecosystem, Anders?
Yeah, so I think when it comes to the ecosystem as a whole, I think we're very fortunate to have a rather flat hierarchical structure here. So it means that the ecosystems are being built on a very open-minded approach, but we've been very, very good at implementing certain living labs, meaning these sort of labs or real life places in cities where companies can come and test out their technologies together in public-private partnerships. You may heard of some of them, but we have the Copenhagen Solutions Lab that is sort of part of the city of Copenhagen and is responsible for many smart city pilots and tests. But then you also have the DOL Living Lab, which is Europe's largest living lab for smart city and outdoor lighting technologies. So we've been very good at, I think, creating ecosystems where there's room for testing your solutions in collaborations with the public as well, such as municipalities.
Yeah, thank you. And so what would be kind of your piece of advice to companies who are maybe looking to do that work? So come and test their technologies in the living labs, work in the greater Copenhagen area.
Yeah, my advice for companies who have an interest in utilizing these living labs, I think it actually starts with some sort of commitment, because it's great to be able to test out your solution and in a sort of in a pilot phase, but at some point you also need to think about, well, how do we move on from here? So So being able to sort of commit to that investment of being part of a living lab and think about, well, how can we grow from here at an early stage and have that dialogue going is probably my best advice. So it doesn't just end up being a pilot or a test in a living lab and then that's it, because that can also be a very sad story for a company.
Yeah, that's very true. I think one of the things that we see a lot at Babel is really a lot of pilots, and then really looking at how can we really take this and scale up from there. So I think that's a really great point that you raise. Reke, did you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, but I think and you can also add that, of course, it's a risk for a company to go into another market and to do pilots, and it just takes some money and some efforts, but that's where we see that we have an advantage, because it's also very simple and very easy to open up in business. It's not that expensive, and it's not a big risk, basically. So you can open and you can scale up and you can scale down. So this is why we are on the top of the rankings for being the country where it's easiest to do business. So I think because you just see that the companies are really taking the step and getting engaged and is here on a daily basis, they just getting more embraced from the whole ecosystem. And also, if you want to be a part of a public-private partnership, you simply have to be here on a daily basis. And therefore, it's good to see that we can actually offer the companies very easy rules and very easy ways of setting up this business here in the region.
Yeah, that's great. And I think organizations like yours really do help young companies, especially, find their place in certain cities. So it's really great work that you do. And for all three of you, do you have any success stories you'd like to share? Martina?
Yeah, we have many kind of stories that I could really tell, because we activate our members of the organizations in so many ways. And it's all about, as I said, collaboration and making partnerships to create progress, really, and impact towards a better city, really. Both here in Copenhagen, of course, but actually just as much internationally. So we really also want to bring solutions out there and implement them in other cities around the world. So we have like local stories that I could tell, where some of our members have gone together also with academia to create solutions that are actually like physical solutions that you can use in a setting where you want to measure the indoor climate. For example, the Airbird is a good example. That's like a physical solution that came out of a collaboration. And then we also have a lot of collaboration internationally, where we work close with cities and companies abroad. And we have great stories to tell about collaborations in, for example, New York, where we have been working with the Bernard campus. They worked with our team here to involve our members to create the first circular campus worldwide.
Wow!
So this is a great case that we like to mention. And I personally also work a lot with German cities to inspire them and to learn from them as well, and to have this cross-border collaboration, really, in order to really strengthen both the process but also the speed that we want to upgrade our cities with. So.
Yeah, wonderful. And if a city is listening and they want to know how they can collaborate with you, what would you say?
Please send me an email.
Perfect.
Because I'm in contact with many cities worldwide, and we always look into the specific case. What are you looking into? What challenges do you have? And how can we look at the challenge together and find out what is the best next steps in regard to finding both a future-proof but also very holistic solution, of course, sustainable solution.
Yeah.
And then we will involve experts from our network that can support the further process of finding the right way forward.
Wonderful. Yeah, thanks. Reike?
Well, there are two things that I would like to share in this regard. And one is the latest success that we had. A success is like when a company established in the region and in Greater Copenhagen. And we recently assisted and supported a German startup called Gorillas. They started up in Copenhagen. They deliver groceries within 10 minutes. So you can literally go to your phone and start and open the app, and you can then within 10 minutes have your groceries at home. It's just brilliant, and they deliver it with e-bikes. So it's just a good solution for Copenhagen, a green solution, and that is actually what we're aiming for. And the other thing is that we and you are a part of that as well. This German Danish collaboration, or also like Hamburg Copenhagen collaboration that we are experiencing at the moment. There's something about this that cities want to work together and to make partnerships and to promote themselves towards investors and companies from abroad or from overseas, and that we are kind of a mega region, and I just think that this collaboration has a lot of potential looking onwards, also for attracting even more sustainable and smart and brilliant companies to the northern part of Europe and to Greater Copenhagen.
Yeah, those are great examples, I think. And actually, Gorillas, we use it at our Stuttgart office as well. So we order all of our fun drinks, shall I say, and any other supplies that we need all through them. So it's been a big game changer for us to have them. So yeah, you can share that also with them.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, and it's also been a pleasure to be working in this Danish-German collaboration as well. I think it's super important when we think about this cross-border collaboration and really what we can share with each other, the lessons learned. And I've really been enjoying that as well. And I hope to, be more of a part of it in the future as well. So, and then Anders, do you also have a success story to share?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we see a lot of interest coming from also the investment space, foreign investors looking into investing here in the ecosystem, and also Danish companies. One of the cases that we consider a success this past year is an early stage VC fund called Antler, which is very much present all around the world, but they basically established a presence and an office here actually at Blockshop to invest in between 10 to 20 green tech companies every year here, and also between 70 to 100 individuals who have great ideas in the sort of green tech space. So we see a lot of excitement and enthusiasm about investing in potential technologies and solutions here in Denmark, and that's super exciting. I think that's really a great success, and it shows that we have quite a unique ecosystem.
Yeah, it really is. And I guess also to go with that, I hear a lot from companies as well, and they obviously struggle. New companies, they're struggling with finding investment. Do you have any advice on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's actually, it's all about, well, first of all, trying to assess what kind of money do you need, because I would say there's a lot of different sources out there, both private and public funding. So I think it starts with that, but that's also something we help with to sort of give that overview. But I think, especially maybe coming from the outside and wanting to maybe start up your business here or get an investment that allows you to implement certain projects or scale your business, then it's important to look at both the public and the private side. I think, the sort of Danish way of doing business, the mentality is we have quite a flat hierarchical structure, so you can, people are willing to speak with you as long as you have a great idea. But it's really about understanding the full landscape and maybe not only focus on private capital coming from VC funds, but maybe also taking the public into consideration.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I never know what to, it's not my area of expertise. So, sometimes actually companies will come to me and be asking about these things, and I can kind of point them in different directions, but I really have no good advice to give. So, thank you also for that. I can sound a bit more intelligent now when they ask me. So,
yeah. I can share a very short story if you want me to, because we actually have a Swedish company. They're called Parametric Solutions. They were part of the Urban Tech Accelerator program at which was ran in Blockshop as well. And when that accelerator finished, they had to look towards other sources of funding to keep on going. And they've applied for certain public funds here in Denmark, which they've been eligible to do through sort of setting up a business here. So that's how we support and help also.
Yeah, that's a good story to share, and I think hopefully some companies can find a little inspiration in that as well. Now, maybe to counterbalance a little bit these frontline success stories you have been sharing with us, we also have a segment we call mess up stories. We don't want to call them failures, but yeah, if you have any, maybe lessons learned or any mess up stories really from the past that you can talk about today, that would be great. Martina?
Yeah, it's funny when you say failures, and I think in some of the culture that we also bring with us abroad when we collaborate is the culture of making failure, and we maybe even won't regard it as a failure, really, just try and error, really. We can't wait to have the perfect solution. So actually we need to try out new things all the time. See, do they work or do they not work? Which way to go forward? So of course we all the time have challenges with, for example, we've been working with Latin America. They of course have big challenges in regard to getting an overview of where to start when they want to improve their cities. And sometimes, even if you have the technical solutions, you need to have the involvement of people to a lot higher degree than expected, and maybe the other way around, really. So there are challenges all the time. So sometimes we move forward quickly, and sometimes it's a bit slower. But that has nothing to do with failure, just trial and error.
Yeah, I like how you put that a lot. That's a wonderful way to put it. Reke, do you have any mess up stories you'd like to share with us today?
If I'd see that in a business perspective, I would say that the worst thing that can happen to us is if a company would choose to go somewhere else. I mean, we are constantly in competition with other cities, and if we lose it, it's a tough thing. And there are some cities that are really tough and that are good competitors for many reasons. And Stockholm and Amsterdam and Hamburg are around. So and we do sometimes lose the game towards these cities. And there are different reasons for that. And some of the other cities are very good at, helping with funding or even giving funding or give certain extras. So yeah, but that's just a part of the game.
Yeah, and I can imagine that the cities are quite in competition, but then we want them to, we also want them to collaborate more. So how do we balance that? Is it good to be in competition with each other for these things, or do you wish that there was more collaborating, I guess?
It depends on the solutions, right? I mean, we do also work very closely together with Skåne, with the southern part of Sweden, and this is also sometimes, two different countries. It's the same region. It's a meta or a cooperation region, you can say, but still, it is. We are funded by Danish tax money. So if a case goes to Sweden, it's also a little bit difficult. But we see this as a great business region, and we would have benefits from a company establishing in the southern part of Sweden as well. So I think we have to just face the fact that a company even based in Hamburg can have an effect on business in the Nordics, or they end the business out of Hamburg, or even, what's going on in Amsterdam in circular construction and sustainable construction can happen even in effect in Copenhagen, because there are so many similarities between the two cities, and a lot of Dutch companies here and a lot vice versa. So yeah, it's collaboration, but it's also competition. But yeah, it's both, you can say.
Yeah, that makes sense. Anders, do you have a mess up story to share?
No, I'm way too new in this job to have any, I think. No, it's thinking about it, this I want to say alignment of expectations and timing is very, very important, because you can see that if we take the sort of EV, electric vehicle, and building up an infrastructure for charging stations, that whole space is obviously very interesting. The timing of tapping into that space in Copenhagen and Denmark now is much better than it was, say, even a year ago.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of rules, and even as late as in October, so a bit more than a month ago, municipalities here can also co-finance, operators who want to install charging stations. So it's important to be aware of the timing. Put in another context, say I would have helped a company a year and a half ago that operates in the EV space, then that would have been a bad timing and a bit of a mess up sort of situation, as opposed to now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think the timing I think it's one of the main determinant factors also of success, right, is the timing aspect. And I guess, do you ever have to kind of tell companies, hey, it's not the right time?
Mm-hmm. I think we prefer to try to create the right timing. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to say that we exclude anyone on that matter. I think we are of the belief that if a company is genuinely interested in coming here, or if they have an interest in exploring business opportunities here, then we also believe that we can help them. Because I believe that's also part of our job, to sort of nudge or at least be in touch and in dialogue with the stakeholders here in the ecosystem to find out, where are we in terms of the timing, and if we're not fully there, well, then how can we take it in small steps if this company really wants to come here now, and sort of building that business case. Because you also have the example of building a business and doing business can also take time to land the right projects and so forth, get the right team, understand the culture. So it's really also about understanding your business journey and how you can say if the timing for certain projects is in 1 year time, well, what can you focus on now if you come here, so that you actually are ready in 1 year time for that. So we like to try to create the timing, I would say.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So the next question I have for you all today is going to be a question that we ask every single guest that we have on here, and I'm really interested to hear everyone's responses. So it is, to you, what is a smart city? Martina?
Yeah, that's actually a good question, because the definition is different in any country or in every country. It's really different. So it's important.
And in every city.
Exactly.
Or to every person, really.
It is, definitely. And I think in some countries it's more tech focused than in other countries. But in my opinion, a smart city is a city where I can live without any hurdles in my everyday life, and that it fulfills my desires and needs.
Yeah, wonderfully summed up. Thank you. Anders, what about you? Do you disagree?
No, I mean, I think it's really about putting people first before the technology itself.
Yeah.
And try to be smart about it, making sure it makes a real impact in society. I think that's the most important thing. And then I think, and that's something we've discussed lately as well, is to make sure that smart city technology is put into the context of the overall green transition. Mm-hmm. So how can smart city technologies actually support the green transition in cities in particular? But definitely putting people first, and then looking at what are the real needs, and then
if the technology fits, don't force it to fit, but make it actually fit what the needs are. I think that's super important. Reike, do you have a different answer for anything you want to emphasize in a couple sentences?
Well, I totally agree with Anders, and it's about the citizens and the people, but but it is also to embrace technologies, because I think if we really want, and that's what we want, and that is the target of Copenhagen as well, and what we're aiming for to become circular as well, we need technology. We cannot be circular without technologies in buildings, in cities, in everywhere. We need that one to become successful if we want to be circular, if we want to have circular societies. So, yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. Thank you for all your answers. And thank you for taking the time to talk to me today about the beautiful city of Copenhagen. I'm really happy to be here, and telling me all about the smart city ecosystem.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tamling, for inviting us. It was a pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was really nice. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate it. And to all of our listeners, if you want to learn more about use cases from Danish cities and companies, you can find more info on Babel and be part of our community. And you can make a free account at www.babel-smartcities.eu. You can also follow us on LinkedIn to follow about the Danish month that we're doing and to read more about what's happening in Denmark. Thank you all for listening. I'll see you at the next stop on the journey to a better urban life. Reike, if you think Copenhagen is a dolphin, then what do you think Denmark is as a whole?
A big swimming pool.
A big swimming pool. Yeah, perfect.